practically every day in small acts of courage, in long goodbyes, and in words from a father to his son.
Oh, Jordan, rare.
There are moments when she stares at her son that Dana Kennedy can see his father's face.
Charles would say, you know, Dana, he's like me when he's happy and he's like you when he's not.
Charles Monroe King, Jordan's father, was deployed to Iraq a year ago December. A big, strapping first sergeant, an artist who loved Dana, the Army, and the soldiers he swore to protect. When Jordan was born, Charles wasn't there because he promised not to take R&R until all his soldiers had visited their homes.
I was so angry in the beginning, and I said, you know, you're going to miss the birth of your child. We're your family. And I realized later that they were family too, to him. So when he did come home for the 2 weeks and I opened the door and, you know, he came out of the elevator, it felt like I was giving birth to Jordan all over again and handing him his son.
Jordan was 4 months old when he met his father for the first time. He and Dana had delayed getting married because of the war, but had decided to try to get pregnant before he deployed.
I was turning 40 years old, you know, and I knew, you know, first of all, if he came back and I was 41, it might be harder to try to have the baby, but that he might not come back.
Dana gave Charles a journal and knew that he occasionally wrote in it, but she had no idea how important that journal would one day become. On October 14th, Charles volunteered to accompany a convoy to Baghdad. A roadside bomb exploded as Charles's vehicle was passing by. He died in the blast. He only had 1 month left in Iraq.
When they told me he had been killed, I literally, my legs buckled. I collapsed on the floor screaming.
Now, nearly 3 months later, the grief still comes in waves. There are moments with Jordan when Dana can be happy, when she can lose herself in his smile, but the loss, the ache, is always there. Do you still talk to him?
The first month I talked to him every day. Then the conversation changed and I started to say to him, we're going to be okay, you know. I thought, he's not going to rest easy if he thinks I'm not going to make it. And so I told him, Charles, I'll be fine. I'll finish the work that we have to do in raising Jordan. Your work is done. I need you to rest.
On Christmas, she and Charles had planned to take a carriage ride in New York Central Park. Instead, she went alone with Jordan.
We rode and I was crying. Jordan was asleep and the driver kind of looked a little puzzled. And I said, I told him what happened to Charles. And at the end of the ride, he helped me down. And I opened my purse and said, how much do I owe you? And he said, no charge. And I just lost it. You know, this city can be big and impersonal, but people have been so kind to me, and that I'll never forget that.
Amid his possessions, Dana found a notebook Charles had begun to write for Jordan, along with the journal she'd given him. There are hundreds of pages of Charles's words, advice from a father to his son.
Listen to your first thought. You will figure this out on your own. Never second guess yourself.
Reading the words now, Dana can hear Charles's voice, his respect for women, and how he wanted his son to treat them.
Remember who taught you to speak, to walk, and to be a gentleman. These are your first teachers, my little prince. Protect them, embrace them, and always treat them like a queen.
To Dana, this book, Charles's words, tell the story of every soldier fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan.
We can live the way we live because they're over there doing what they do. We owe them. We owe them big. We owe them a thank you. We owe them the respect of seeing them as real people, not just casualties of war collectively.
A few months before he died, Charles drew this picture of himself with the wings of an angel. Dana still finds it hard to look at. The notebooks, however, are a comfort, a legacy of words that will help their baby boy grow up to be a man.
I will always be proud of you, my son. Be strong, take care of your family, and live life well. I love you and I love your mother. God bless your father, Charles King.